Hi, I'm Jessica Marley Smith. Here is a poem by Heinrich Heine, translated into English. It is about some ethereal entities called Wilis. That poem, along with another from Victor Hugo, would inspire the ballet where Queen Myrtha comes from. The poem goes like this. There is a tradition of nocturnal dancing known in Slav countries under the name of Wilis. The Wilis are affianced maidens who have died before their wedding day. Those poor young creatures cannot rest peacefully in their graves. In their hearts which have ceased to throb, in their dead feet, there still remains that passion for dancing which they could not satisfy during life. And at midnight they rise up and gather in bands on the highway, and woe betide the young man who meets them, for he must dance until he drops dead. Attired in their bridal dresses, with garlands of flowers on their heads, and shining rings on their fingers, the Wilis dance in the moonlight like elves. Their faces, although white as snow, are beautiful in their youthfulness. They laugh with a deceptive joy. They lure you so seductively, their expressions offer such sweet prospects, that these lifeless bacchantes are irresistible.
The music in the background is from the second act of the ballet, Giselle. It is that of Queen Myrtha and the Wilis, a throng of ghostly maidens who are her subjects, and they come out every night to dance. The tender, peaceful music belies the heartless and vengeful spirits of the Wilis and their queen.
The Wilis dance in the moonlight like elves. Ocean never dances at any time.
That's because I don't have a reason to. But I used to enjoy dance units in physical ed in school or dancing at weddings. But I don't feel like dancing other than making music for my work.
But you're not an elf.
Zulma, you are laboring under an erroneous belief that an elf has to look a certain way. Ocean doesn't look like any stereotype, but if you get a good look at her you can tell, or at least I can. But it is not Ocean you are here to discuss, though yes, you were brought here to meet her. The legend says that you Wilis dance young men to death. Though there have been many close calls, there is only one confirmed case where you did just that, and that is what you are required to reverse.
It's a good thing for you three that it was just one, and even that is too many. You must go back to that time and place. Lillian and Cosima will help you with that. Then you must dance in broad daylight at the site where you danced that man to his death at night. Dance until night, and you better hope you can bring him out of suspended animation.
What? Are you kidding? We can't dance in daylight. We have no power then. We'll drop.
While you had your power in the dark, you had the upper hand and an unfair advantage over your victim. You could not be tired out. Now you will repay his suffering with your own exhaustion. Ocean, what should be done with these Wilis if they don't bring him back?
I'm not sure yet. It depends on their attitudes.
Oh, this is it. I'll be banished down to the Earth's core, and I know I deserve it.
Maybe not. You threw that Senna wench down to the Mary Sue Hall, and at least you're sorry for your part in this.
I'm surprised you of all people would say that to me after I almost, well, I can't even...
Well, I think Ocean's a pretty reasonable person. Unlike your nutty mob of Willies, she doesn't just go around looking for opportunities to take people out just because of one thing that happened to her in the past.
Thanks, Batilda. Exactly. So, have we any more info on these?
The story of Giselle. An unforgettable journey filled with passion, betrayal, and forgiveness. The Wilis are featured in a ballet titled Giselle, and I think it only fitting for our newcomer to read the story. Giselle, if you please.
Act 1. In a German Rhineland village, Giselle, a lovely peasant girl with a weak heart and a passion for dancing, is courted by a young man known to her as Loy. He is, in fact, Albrecht, Duke of Silesia, disguised as a peasant. Loy vows eternal love for Giselle, but the mood is shattered by the woodsman Hilarion. He has long been in love with Giselle, but she rejects him and makes clear her feelings for Loy's. Suspicious of Loy's, Hilarion angrily vows to uncover his true identity and separate the two lovers. Giselle and Lois are met by friends and villagers on their way from the vineyards and all join in a dance. But Bertha, Giselle's mother, admonishes the girl for dancing so much, afraid that her daughter's heart will give out. She tells everyone the story of the Wilis, young women who died before their wedding day and must spend eternity dancing. Afraid this will be her daughter's fate, Bertha leads a reluctant Giselle indoors, and Lois takes his leave. As hunting horns sound in the distance, Hilarion returns and breaks into Lois's hut. The hunting party arrives, led by the Duke of Corlan and his daughter Batilda, who are seeking sustenance. Giselle sees to her guests, and she and Batilda strike up a conversation. Batilda inquires whether Giselle has a boyfriend, and Giselle explains that she is engaged. Batilda responds that she is also engaged, and asks after Giselle's fiancé. Giselle says that she is looking for him, but can't find him. Charmed by Giselle, Batilda requests the Duke's permission to present the girl with her necklace. A delighted Giselle dances for Batilda as a gesture of thanks. After the Duke and Batilda go to Giselle's cottage for a rest, Hilarion emerges from Lois's hut, holding his rival's sword. He notices the hunting horn hanging outside Giselle's cottage, and on closer examination, he sees that it's branded with the same crest as the sword. But before he can expose Lois's deception to Giselle, the vintagers return. Feeling vindicated, Hilarion hides the sword and waits. Giselle is crowned Queen of the Vintage. Everyone dances in celebration of the harvest, including Giselle and Lois. But their revelry is interrupted by an angry Hilarion, who denounces Lois as a deceiver. He presents the sword as proof. Giselle does not want to believe him. Hilarion summons the hunting party, and Lois or Albrecht can no longer conceal his identity. Not only is he a nobleman, but he is engaged to Batilda. Distraught, Giselle stabs herself with Albrecht's sword and sinks into madness. Weakened physically and emotionally, she collapses and dies. Act 2. Giselle has been buried in a forest close to a lake. Hilarion comes to grieve at her grave, but does not linger. He senses the presence of Wilis. Myrtha, queen of the Wilis, summons her subjects to assist her in initiating Giselle to their sisterhood. The Wilis hide when Albrecht, full of remorse and sorrow, comes to mourn at Giselle's grave and seek her forgiveness. She suddenly appears before him, and he runs off in pursuit of her. Meanwhile, Hilarion has been found by the Wilis. On Myrtha's orders, they make him dance until he is exhausted, and then cast him into the lake, where he dies. Now Albrecht's presence is revealed, and Myrtha commands that he too must die. Giselle intervenes, telling him to seek shelter at the cross of her grave, where she stands in protection. But the vengeful Myrtha orders Giselle to dance. She obeys, and Albrecht is soon drawn to her. They beg the Wilis to help them, but their pleas are rebuffed. Myrtha will see to it that he dances until he dies. A weary Albrecht pleads to put a halt to his dancing. His entreaty is refused. Giselle again pleads for his life, but she cannot sway Myrtha. Albrecht collapses from exhaustion, but the darkness of the forest is broken by the first light of dawn, banishing the Wilis. Albrecht, overcome by his love for Giselle and by the generosity of her forgiveness, is left to weep alone at her grave. And that's the end.
Wow, great going on the pronunciations, Giselle. I like how you gave the Wilis the German pronunciation treatment.
There are different versions of the story. That makes sense since the ballet was based on a couple of different sources from different authors, so some details are not exact. Some productions simply have Giselle die just as she takes hold of Albert's sword, so she does not actually kill herself. Some productions have Albert dying of a broken heart just at the end of the ballet's story, making all three main characters lose their lives instead of leaving Albert to survive. Sometimes he is left alone at the end. Other times he is surrounded by people who go looking for him. One thing they all agree on is that Giselle stood up to Myrtha and managed to help keep Albert alive until morning, so her love transcended death and would not be conquered by vengeance, so she is never to be a Willy again and can rest in peace. But what is consistent is Myrtha's and the Wilis guilt of the things they have done. Let's look at some sights and comments.
From the Australian ballet, Giselle, meet the characters. Giselle, which premiered in 1841, has stood the test of time, not only because of the otherworldly beauty of its white act, but because of the universal passion and drama of its storyline: first love, betrayal, jealousy, hurt and forgiveness. We've all been through them, and that's what makes Giselle resonate in the chamber of our hearts. Upping the emotional ante is the room for interpretation within the main characters. Each dancer playing Giselle, Albrecht and Hilarion and Myrtha will bring their particular slant to the role, which can change the flavor of the whole ballet. It's why Balanchine compared Giselle to Hamlet, and why it's a ballet worth seeing again and again. Giselle, she's the village belle, newly crowned the harvest queen, and beloved by all for her sweet nature and ebullience. She loves to dance, but her heart is weak. It will ultimately kill her when she's reeling from the shock of discovering her lover is not what he seems. Fragile as she is in life, in death she reveals a new strength as she protects her lover from the Wilis and achieves a tender and luminous forgiveness. Albrecht. These are the facts. The restless Duke Albrecht disguises himself as a peasant and insinuates himself into Giselle's heart, all the time knowing that he's betrothed to a noblewoman, and it can only end in tears. But does he act in the heedless fervor of true love, unable to tear himself away? Or is he just a heartless cad slumming it with a pretty peasant girl? Both interpretations are valid, whichever way it's played. In Act 2, we see an Albrecht truly repentant and changed forever by his experience with Giselle's loving ghost. Hilarion, oh, Hilarion! The saddest of ballet's second-string men. Consumed by unrequited love for Giselle, jealous of the handsome stranger, he unmasks Albrecht, and then has to watch his beloved die from the shock. Oh, and he gets danced to death by ghosts when he tries to visit her tomb. Would Giselle have saved him if she'd been out of her grave when he arrived? We'd like to think so. Hilarion too can be played in different ways, as an uncouth kind of scary stalker, or as a good guy who genuinely loves Giselle. Myrtha. The role of Myrtha, Queen of the Wilis, is an absolute gift to a ballerina. Regal, frozen, and yet alive with malice, Myrtha is scary as hell as she heads her band of vengeful undead maidens. On an emotional level, perhaps Myrtha is supposed to show us the monsters we turn into when we can't forgive or forget. When we abandon mercy.
You hear that, Myrtha? You're a monster.
Elizabeth.
She and Australian ballet are right, Queen Lillian. I just never thought of it that way before now.
If you had, you might have thought twice before treading down that path.
Speaking from regrettable personal experience, that sure is true. You can get yourself and others in a lot of trouble and damage your reputation forever if you act on every selfish impulse.
Oh, you must be Rabadash, am I right?
How could I have forgotten to introduce you? Rabadash, Giselle, and Wilis. Meet Natasha Diane, the Sugar Plum Fairy.
And meet me too. Uh-oh, it's NT. You Willies are really in for it.
Yeah, too bad they weren't here yet when she routed Aslan and Tash.
So, we seem to have quite a few fairies in our company now, including Cosima and myself. There's Iris, NT, Lisa, and now Sugar Plum. And for you new people who don't know me, my name is May.
Oh no, that's it. We are screwed.
We have to get through all the commentary and make a few of our own comments before anything happens. Who wants to read the blog entry Ocean found?
I will.
Thank you, Mika. We shall continue in the next section. Stay tuned.